Hey guys, welcome. Let me quick run through the chat first. I meant to run through it while the video was playing. Todd showed up first at 4 o'clock, said he was waiting, welcomed him. Then Gordon showed up. That was about 4:40. Welcomed him. Eric showed up, and of course I said, who left the door open, let him in. He laughed. He said, finally, when I started the stream, it said 5 o'clock. Donnie dropped his in. Hey, Don, welcome. And the last person who just showed up was Jalen. Welcome, Jalen. Welcome. Glad to have you on the stream. So the saga of the Route Master continues. The cab that I got from them, for the driver's cab that I got from them, was bent worse than the first one. I think I said something about that on the I said something on it last week. So now I've contacted it, or no, didn't say anything about it last week. I didn't have it yet. I only said it on Discord because I didn't get it till either Friday or Saturday. But I contacted them. They said, can you tell us what exactly is wrong with it? And I told them they're going to contact the shipping department to try and make sure that they don't send me a broken one again. So hopefully it will show up in the next few weeks, because it usually takes about 3 weeks from the time that I get something, they start working on something, to the time I get it. Don't have enough of the VW yet. I don't want to start it yet. I've only got one issue for the Ironman, and the issues for the Ironman go through quickly. So I decided to get back to the long overdue Black Pearl. It's actually been 6 months since I did a stream on it. And it's kind of funny because the last video I did, I looked at the description and it said it had been 6 months since I did anything on it. So it's time for the Black Pearl to get some love. You can see here, I've done planking on this deck. I should have planked it before I put it on, and I'll show more on there. But I figured, since it is closed up, I would show the inside of the ship as it sits right now. So let me switch cameras. That's also why I have the lights off. That is what the ship looks like. That is the darkest I can get the room right now. But I love those LEDs. I got those from HDA Model Works. They're flickering SMDs, actually. And I built them into the lantern shells. Sorry if I make you guys seasick. I just figured I'd bring you over a little bit closer. And my logic in how the lighting is done is that on the top deck there, the gun deck, there's lots of lights. On the deck below, which is like right here, where's my cell phone? Let me throw some light in there so you can actually see. But see, that's the brig, and there's a skeleton in there. The lower deck is mainly the brig. So not going to be too worried about having it really brightly lit down there. Although I do have to say, some of the stuff that I did in there, you can't really see it right now. I'll have to shine some lights in there sometime or post pictures. Some of the stuff, you can't see it very well because of how dark it is. But I know it's there. I believe they are warm white, Jalen. If I remember right, they were warm white. I bought them almost 2 years ago. But they're the 402s, I think it is, flickering. First time I saw them, I was like, really? Flickering SMDs are available? So I had to get them for the Pearl. So now let me switch back. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and switch to the top camera. Move this one back a little bit. rotate the pearls, and Echo. Turn on workbench. That should be good enough to see on the video, hopefully. So you can see, let me switch screens. I actually have both YouTube and StreamYards up. Now, I love the, and in case anybody didn't see the chat, Jalen asked about the SMDs, and no, Donnie, I didn't solder them myself. They came unresisted, so I'm very careful every time I fire them up, because I could very easily pop them all. There are some that have not. I don't know what happened to them. They haven't been over voltaged because they'd have killed all of them, but some of them have gone dead in there. And I merged wires together. Here I've got 3 wires on each side. I'm going to actually start resisting them, soon. I had to actually go back and look and see what I had done these wires for. These wires are going to end up going down into the coming up from the hull, the bottom of the hull, or the I guess you'd call it the bilge, up through here. This conduit I put in so that the lights for the captain's cabin. Well, here's the thing, Donnie. He doesn't sell them on wire. He doesn't want you to have to worry about that. I'm sure he gets them pre-wired himself. And Eric, sure, if I put enough resistors on there, I can run 24 volts through them. Also, just for giggles, let me move some stuff. And I blame this completely on Todd. Todd had his R2 on one time, and we all were like, that is just the coolest thing. And so I now have the family. I've got the same R2 that Todd has, but all of them are charging right now. I picked up BB8. BB8 was actually pretty decent price, and now when I set him on, he didn't do it. Hang on. So this is a random thing that he'll do. He'll start moving his head there here in a second. Yes, eBay or Evil Bay. I can hear him. He's moving. He's looking around. BB9E doesn't move so much, when he's sitting on the charging base. But let's see if I can make him, if he'll hold his head. You can see he does have the LEDs in the head. That is really kind of cool because that is induction wire. It's induction power. There's no wires between the head and the ball. So, got my toys now. The only one that I don't have is the R2D or R2Q5, and I'm not spending $300 for him. So let me go back to that camera, and it takes a second to change cameras. So here's what I've been doing. Like I said, I've been planking here. I've screwed up and put this part down before planking it, which was a mistake. And also these posts needed to be sanded down. So what you see there, the rounded spots, is just from this head right here on the small sander. And what I got to do is I still got to plank this. This is going to be interesting because I got to cut these pieces before I can put them in. And what's going to suck about that is that this is actually going to be visible. I think there's actually some a wall that comes in here that'll cover part of it, but still, it's going to be interesting to get that the pieces in there. And you can see a little bit from the top that there is some whoopies, is what I call them, on the side. I also pull the shit back. This was not planked. I planked it before I put it on here, cut it, and these parts here from the sides of the ship, this one actually wants to come up higher than it can, so I've got to warp it a little bit to get it down where it's supposed to be. This one broke free while I was working with it. This is glued down solid, will not come off, so I should be able to put all of these down where they belong. And that's about where I was at when I last worked on this. Started working on this. You can see where I cut out on the deck for this to fit in there, and actually it fits around there. The grills that go in here fit down inside. Got a grill to put up in here. Got a border here, and this is what's going to be. This is actually one of the things that I kind of got frustrated and put away the black pearl for so long. Down here, you can see, go in from here. You can see under here, the stairs. I've got to do another set, and they've got to actually make it to the other side. I've got to build another set, so that's going to be interesting. I have put the masts in. They fit here and here fine. This one here, I've got to auger out, and I've got to actually auger it out down below decks, underneath below decks. Last video on the Pearl, I mentioned that I should have waited to plank this because the wider areas aren't so bad, but I should have waited back here to plank until I had these pieces on here, because now I've got to run planks across this. Excuse me. I'll run planks across that, and then I'll sand them down to be smooth. Again, that's actually not going to be too bad of an area because I can see right here from the curve on the side of the ship, there should be a wall right about here, right here. So you won't see this except for through the windows, and that's why I've got to put wires through the conduit I put in there so that I can get the lights up inside there. So let me get back to what I've been doing. And these, if you see, these are measured to where they fit pretty well between the bulkhead and back here. A little bit of overhang. Already started cutting these off a little bit. It's going to be interesting, to say the least, to get them all cut, because I've got to get it cut at an angle here. It's much easier when they're not on there, and I can take the. Do I have a piece of? I know I should have a piece of. Pardon my mess. But like this. This is probably, I believe this is going to have to be planked. It'll be planked on this side because I believe these markings are on the bottom side. When I plank this, I'll plank it before I attach it, because then I can cut it off, matching these curves and stuff. Piece of cake. As it is here, I'm going to have to cut it gently and then sand it. The good news is this stuff cuts with scissors that easily, unless you're trying to cut a curve. And you can see this one came up just a hair. I put these down with glue stick. Once they're down, if they start coming up like some of these might, I'll just throw some white glue underneath there. This right here is actually not too bad, because you can see here, this is actually in further than what I'm cutting right now. Let me see if I can get these to cut without any problem. First rule in cutting something like this, change your blade. Get a brand new, fresh blade. Because it's not like I don't have plenty to spare. When I bought the scalpel handles, I bought 2 scalpel handles. One snapped, but I also bought 100 blades for each of them. So I have plenty of blades. Trick there is not to cut yourself while you put the scalpel on. Not too bad. Right there, that's what I have to build another one. And this time what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that it runs down all the way down to that other spot, the other side of the thing. That's a good sharp scalpel. I just cut myself on it. Not enough to bleed, but I felt it cutting my skin. Once I have this cut relatively close, because like right here, this is not all the way straight up to the edge, but once it's close enough, I will take a file and gently file it off. I will only be pushing down towards the ship because I don't want to pull any of the planks up. Like that. Like I said, when something like that happens, I'm not sure. I think you guys can see that where it popped up. What I'll do is I'll just come back here, put white glue there. I use the glue stick because it's quick, it's easy, and it's what I first used when doing planking. This glue residue that's coming through the top, you won't see it once it dries. And I saw that I've got a scrap right there from what I cut out for the mast. Get that out of there. And some people, when they're building these ships, they use super glue. I use white glue because white glue disappears into the wood. Super glue leaves stains on the wood. So I know Eric is working on, well, let's see, here's what I know people are working on, or maybe not right now, but they have been working on. Eric's working on an Enterprise. Donnie was working on Seaview. Todd probably is working on the Knight Rider, or working stuff for his websites. Have no idea what you're working on, Jalen. Make sure. Oh, still got a little bit. And we have been talking a little bit amongst ourselves of doing a cancer awareness build this or next month. You guys probably can't see, but I can right there. I've got a little bit of splitting on the wood. I'm talking to the 350 Katinga, Jalen. I know you. I think you were working on it a while back. Last time I saw you. And the newer Battlestar Galactic. That is a pretty cool model. So now, I know it's around here somewhere. I had it this weekend. Oh, looking right at it. And so, like I said, I will do anything but up. That is pretty smooth. Yes, very cool kits. Cool, very cool. I need to do my Katinga someday. I have a lot of kits I need to do. So let me move that. And I did buy, for my wooden kits, a real file set. Never, I'll tell you, Jalen, never let your LEDs dictate whether you're going to save your build or not, because you can always fix blown LEDs. Well, not always, because I've got a couple that are in here that are blown that I can't get to, but work around it. You know, as far as I'm concerned, the ones that are blown are just, they burnt out. The torch just needs to be refilled. All right, so let me try. I really mean try, because I did a little bit earlier and it's interesting to say the least. Carving on the curve is a little bit, I said interesting. It's not difficult so much as you have to be just a little bit careful. You can see right here, there's a little bump. This, I'm going to have to sand this down. I did this. No, I forgot. I forgot over here. I may see if I can pull this off, because I do have a second one. And that would fix some of this stuff over here. But I need to shape these. I shaped it down here. I didn't shape it up here. I got too much in a rush. You know what happens when you get in a rush, because this is supposed to be smooth along here, including down here, these edges, and up here. This one obviously is not smooth, and neither are these. I do from, let's see, it would be all the way back there. It wouldn't be that hard, because I do have over here in my spare part, I think I have. Double check. Yeah. This here is actually the same piece that goes right here. Yeah, only one LED blown on the disco brush, but it would fit right in place here, so I can actually pull that back off. I think that's what I'm going to do. That way I can sand this down up here, especially down here. Of course, I'm pointing where you can't see. And I say sand, I mean file. Down here, it's not so important, but up here, where it's actually going to be meeting the deck, it needs to be as best possible a nice smooth curve, including up here in the front. This should be filed down. No, it's mistakes you make as a shipbuilder. So let me turn this around. First, let me clean up these scraps. And that, there's two reasons to pull that side piece off there. Then I can do the same thing over here that I did over here, instead of having to try and cut those pieces to fit. Here in the back, it won't matter so much, because this is going to be inside where you can't see it. But where it's right out here in the open, the better I can get it, the better I'll be, the better off I'll be. He's fine, babe. Tyson. Try some. Dog's under the table licking my leg, and my wife's trying to get him to come out.
Okay.
Okay, so I may actually get this off and be able to just use these same pieces. What'd you say, babe?
I'm talking about Paul.
All right. It's another reason to use white glue instead. White glue will come loose a little bit easier than super glue. The only thing is there's 2 keyways on here. So there's the difference. This one doesn't have the keyway that I'm working on right now. It's got the big one up front here, but not the one in the back. There's a keyway right here. You can almost see it right there. A smart person would wet the glue first, but nobody ever accused me of being that smart. And I've actually taken a couple of other things off here recently. That's why I know that this will work really well. Let me stand up so I can actually see it. And hopefully not get my fat head, which Eric likes to try and tell me I'm going bald. And may have lost some hair, but not that bad. So what it is, Donnie, is that some people, I think Eric is on HTM. Well, you're on my channel. And then if somebody's on Facebook, they won't show up on either of the YouTube channels. That's why it looks weird. That's the hazard of streaming to multiple places. Going? Lost me there, Donnie. I mean, where the chat is going to, or probably something I said didn't make any sense. Not that that ever happens with me. We are in the midst of a Midwest late fall heat wave. It was over 90 today here. And tomorrow it's going to be almost 100. Not looking forward to going outside at all for the next few days. Oh, well, it's supposed to be almost 100 tomorrow, and Tuesday or Wednesday we're supposed to drop down into the 60s and get back to where we're normally supposed to be at this time of the year. This, I don't know if you guys can tell, but this is very, very thin wood. This is almost going bald. Okay, I see what it is. You see, so Jalen must be on my channel. And then you guys are on HTM. Yeah, just requires watching the screen in order to notice the chats. And Donnie said going bald. And that's only if I remember to pop them up there. That's why when we do the live streams, somebody who plays host is supposed to keep up with the chat, but certain Erics never do. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud? It's funny you say going bald, Donnie, because right now my hair is just really, really long. Okay. I'm trying ever so carefully not to break these pieces. And I knew that was going to be a problem spot right there. Working on the first keyway. It's funny you should pick on me about baldness, Donnie, because I got more hair than you do. Yes, Todd, those Sphero droids are your fault. But at the same time, my wife saw them and she thinks they're cute, so I'm okay. If she didn't think they were cute, absolutely. Well, okay. Actually, Donnie, the three of them are your fault because you got two, and I was like, okay, I gotta get BB-8. Then I saw BB-9, and I'm like, okay. Come on, come loose there. This next part could be difficult because this is up underneath where I can't get to. So now I'm going to work on the second keyway. The Sphero Erics. What the heck is a Sphero Eric? Okay, come on. See, the problem with this, well, twofold. Right there where I'm trying to cut it apart is right where this spar is. Plus, this is thin enough I can cut it, easily cut through the wood. And I did break this one right here. Damn it. But that's not a bad enough spot that it's not going to be repairable. That is the nice thing about working in wood. That spot where it's broken is the only spot that's still hanging on. Okay. So you can see right there, if I can get it to, maybe you can't. there's a little bit of a break right there. So I'll just get this cleaned up. I'll be able to actually do the rest of this one here. What I will also have to do is clean up the excess glue. And I lost a little bit of the second keyway there. Not a big deal though. This will go right back on there. And I believe there's going to be planking on the inside. I'm hoping there's something that goes inside here because it's going to look really funky if it doesn't. I got to be careful while I'm doing this because I don't want to knock any of the cannon off, because it would be a royal pain in the behind to get back in there to put cannons back in, because that deck is not coming back off. Well, that's not too bad. So just out of curiosity, those of you that are here right now, does a build like this, is this type of a build something that is conducive to a stream or not? Part of the reason I don't do the Pearl much is I don't know that I can keep up. I don't know that I can keep it interesting. I will probably keep working the Pearl because, like I said, it hasn't gotten enough love in the last year. That's the problem. Well, hang on. Let me see what I can do, Todd. See, that's the thing, is most of the time, top down is not going to be too bad. That's way too close. And sorry if anybody gets motion sick. There, that's a little bit better. Okay, that sounds good, Jalen. And that's the thing is, you guys haven't, anybody who has watched my other videos really hasn't missed much of anything, because I haven't done anything on the Pearl. And when I do something on the Pearl, it's usually on one of the Friday streams. Right now I'm just peeling off the excess glue. Right here. Don't swear at me like that, Jalen. Edit's a bad word. You know that. And Donnie, I will tell you right now, wooden kits, the first time you do one, you get hooked. You saw earlier across when I had the first view on, across the shop is another wooden kit. I like working in wood because it's really easy to fix things when you screw them up. Plastic is easier because you don't make all your parts. Even though this is a kit, you still make all your parts. Yes, she is. And you will love that Pearl. Matter of fact, I think I've shown you, Jalen, that I have that Pearl, and I've built that Pearl. The rigging is a pain, but you can light it if you well, when I lit mine, they didn't have the SMDs out, the flickering SMDs. So what I did, and you'll see this on Boyd's channel too, I discovered it one day and I was like, wow. And then about 6-8 months later, Boyd put it on his channel that to make non-flickering LEDs flicker, you just put them in line in series with a flickering LED. So like I was saying, these need to be tapered. And that's actually something I'm probably going to do with the Dremel. A little bit easier, a little bit faster. And then the same thing here. This should be tapered up here. It's not here. Actually, you know what? Once I taper the spars, it should be fine. $3mm flickering. Yeah, well, 3mm flickering, if you put them in series, not parallel, but put them in series with other LEDs, only one flickering in the series of LEDs. I made mine circuits of 5 LEDs, which then I didn't have to in my Pearl. If I remember right, I put no resistors in there, not this one, but the plastic one, because the resistors or the voltage drop again across the 5 drop. It did the resistance was enough that I didn't have to put any resistors. It did not. The resistors won't blow. If I go higher than that, I think it's wired for 12 volts. If I go higher than the 12 volts, then it would pop the LEDs, and that would suck because they're all down inside where I can't get to them. As it is, and you are right not to build that, because as it is, I lost one of the lanterns on the tail. The sails are a mess. I don't know if I will ever go back and fix it because I am working on this one. Once this one is done, I may tell my wife, this is the one you get. I'm getting rid of the other one. That other one took me about 8 months. Let me switch cameras because now I'm working on something you can't see again. While I'm at it, probably should have done that earlier, and do not grab just the camera and pull because it's on a shelf. Shelf comes down. The sound system that's up there comes down too. I die. Get a Darwin Award. What I do with these, and I'm very picky to make sure I get ones that are relatively the same width. Because if you look, these are the same, supposed to be the same size, but this one is not as wide as this one. And these are, I want to say they're 0.5 millimeter thick by 5 millimeter wide walnut strips. A lot of kits come with them. So what I'm doing, I just realized, no, that's not upside down. So what I'm doing is I'm taking one that I've already cut, using it to mark it, and just cutting more strips. I think I should only need about 3 or 4 more. And this is actually a little bit narrower than the ones I've got on there, but it's close enough. It's not going to show that badly. And you can see right here, I need to make sure I paint that black. Sitting here looking at something and I'm like, the heck? Just in here, the mast that sticks out the front, there's a ramp for it to sit on. Should be, after I cut this one, that should be enough. And I always save scraps, because some of the scraps that are in here are going to go on the outer edges here. This is, I'll show you in a second after I put the glue on this. The reason I like the purple. So I've had white glue sticks before, and I have some. I laid in a lifetime supply of glue sticks, and they've dried out. But you can see on the stick, on the slat there, the purple, when you see it's purple, you know that you got glue on there. Still need to do one or two more full length ones. And honestly, glue stick, I started using glue stick on the first model I ever built. First wooden ship was a stern wheeler, small one. It was the first one I ever built, and so I was like, you know, I like how this works. Like the way that it worked. I also was able to, on that one, because it was a lot smaller, the detail was still there, but you could also, not quite, you could also see, or I sanded it to where it was smooth. On the pearl, I've got some rough spots, and I want it that way. Hey, Eric's back. By the way, Eric, good Papa walk today, but I still didn't see no hobbitses. Eric did a video called Papa Walk number 3, and he called it an unexpected journey, and I was like, that would be a hobbit. Ah. So like I said, that scrap will work for right there. That way I don't have to use more wood. I have actually in the past bought some more of this walnut strip. Yeah, see? Donnie's a real fan. On Lord of the Ring kick. So that wasn't an accident. That was on purpose. That's pretty cool. And do I have one more? Problem with these little bitty pieces here at the end is this will probably split and come off. Although I was actually able to cut it pretty close. It looks like it's flat there, but it actually is. There's a little bit still, little bit there still that needs to be cut off to where it'll be a full curve. that one long enough? It is. Yeah, it went with the unexpected walk you had to take. Jalen just ate and now working on homework. Hopefully, I'm not boring you to sleep while you're trying to do your homework, Jalen. So now I'm going to let that be. Get the scraps off of here, get the file out of the way. Let this end be. Homework is awesome, says Eric. Come on, where's my mouse? My mouse is on the other monitor. Donnie said, new Lord of the Rings series on Amazon Prime. I have not. Eric has, though, and loving it. Jalen saw the first episode. I have not watched it at all. I have 4 episodes. Better than the Hobbit movies by far. That's cool, because the Hobbit movies got kind of boring. Take what should be 4 hours of movies and turn it into, what was it? 2.5 to 3 hour movies. And I'm still looking for something to take the place of, what was it? Hell on Wheels. That was a really good show. I liked him originally, Donnie, but by the third one, I think I was burnt out. Never been a true Tolkien fan. So these are not. I don't want to seam. So what I want to do is do like that. Till they went to town. I enjoyed the whole thing of Hell on Wheels. It sometimes did get a little bit long-winded, but I was really happy with that. I watched the whole thing. So the first thing I got to do, and actually doing this on camera is good. Hell on Wheels was in the hood, Eric. First few episodes were better. I can agree with that. So actually, since I'm doing this on camera, that works really well. I'm not going to glue it all the way down to here. I'm going to overlap it, but that also helps me to make sure that this one is straight. So let me cut this off. And I'm not going to I'm not going to glue it across the whole. I'm just going to use the whole plank as my template. And what I'm going to do is, after I glue it, I'm going to cut it off somewhere around there. Another show that I like, which I haven't been able to keep up with because I don't watch regular TV. I watch things basically as reruns, is Better Call Saul. And I think we're about to, either they just did or they're about to do the final season. And I may go back to Walking Dead eventually. The whole series was good, but the first few seasons were better. Okay. Walking Dead, I liked a lot at first, but since they took Grimes out, kind of haven't been keeping up with it. So that should be relatively straight. So I'm hoping this will stay down, and I'll cut it off, and it won't all be a straight across. It'll be, back and forth. That way, actually, what I can do, let me do it this way. I just needed that to be there for the, to give me my line. That should be good enough. I can snap it. I liked The Walking Dead for more than the first 3 seasons, but it got a little bit weird towards the later shows. So I'm just going to fake it. Season 7 or 8. I liked when, let's see, Fear the Walking Dead, first 2 seasons were cool. I don't even know if that one's still going. And up until, I agree with you, Donnie, up until season 7 or 8 was really good. I liked Negan until they caught him and put him in jail. The Negan storyline was really awesome up until it was no longer a valid storyline. Negan no longer being a threat and being caught and in jail just isn't that interesting. Although every time I see him now in any shows, I'm like, that's Negan. He's an evil bastard. Eric probably walks around saying, I'm Negan. Don't you, Eric? The kids go, what's Negan, Dad? Not long enough. And I don't have any out, so get some strips. Go with about that long, maybe a little bit shorter. Why did I know you were going to say that, Eric? Although I've gone back and I'm rewatching the Orville before I watch season 3. Oh, and I'm sorry, I did not. I responded, but did not put it up there. Star Trek: The Original Series, Eric's favorite ever show. I do have to agree that they did pretty well with what they had, but I have to say that a lot of the stuff that came after is what's kept it around for 50 years. Of course, then there's the best Star Trek movie ever made. Go ahead, Eric. You know what I'm going to say. And it's not the best. It's just that I like to give you shit. Here's the hazards of these strips. Strange New Worlds was awesome. That's all that can be said about it. Because and I understand that it's because of the time, the culture these days. Strange New Worlds made Pike a very, very human captain. Yep, Eric knew exactly what I was talking about. I know he still hasn't watched Galaxy Quest, for any of you who wonder. Which I think Dirk ought to insist that he watches it, because somebody, Dirk, gave him a copy of it on Blu-ray. I believe Eric took it out and played frisbee in the yard with it. Oh, sorry. My mouse was sitting over top of it. Lang. Yeah, gotta respect the gift giver. So I'm sitting here thinking about what I'm doing right now. And somehow, for some reason, laying wood strip seems familiar. I think I watched a stream at one point about that. And no, I wouldn't do it for 8 hours solid. And hey, Mark, welcome. Holy crap, Gilly, that's the first thing you've said tonight. I didn't even know for sure if you were here. Going fantastic. Working on the Pearl. Had to made a command decision to peel a wooden part back off of the ship so that I can get some sanding done correctly on it, so that it will go together later on and not require more work. It's already going to require enough work to build this thing. But see, I will tell you that laying the wooden planks like this is actually very relaxing, and it's probably my favorite part of the build. And so, Mark, what I'm doing right now, I mentioned this last video, which was in April, that this here, I should have laid the waited to lay planks until this was glued on. And so I'm getting rid of that seam, even though it's going to be inside where you can't see it. Hey, Gilly. Working on the W900. Very cool. Did you see that in France? I don't remember what truck it was, but Eric posted it on Discord. They are doing a part work of a big rig. A 1/8 scale, I think it was. Yeah. You need to get a tractor kit. They're, well, here I am saying they're really cool. I haven't even built one yet. I have 4 or 5, and we're $359. Doing a test run of the Peterbilt. 1/12. Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, and I don't know how you got. I think it was Gilly that posted it. I'm not sure how you got that, unless you're actually a member of that channel, because it said I wasn't a member of it, so I couldn't see it, other than on Discord. See, Mark, there you go. You should come over to our Discord. You see some stuff that you don't see anywhere else. Very cool. Ah, it was Eric. Okay, you're a member of a French group. Okay. I actually have, I want to say I've got 4 trailers for the tractors that I have not yet built. And I picked up another off of Skill Model Graveyard over the weekend. I picked up another car hauler. That's the other nice thing. I don't think you guys saw it, but you saw me come up here and push it down with the glue stick. If it comes up, it actually will get a little stickier as it first starts to dry. And so if it pops up like that part did, you just push it up a little or push it down a little bit, and it'll adhere better. MBC trailer. Not sure what that is. Just looking, it looks like it's separating back there. So I think what I'm going to do for a while, until I start getting parts for the London bus again, until I get the cab. I've got plenty of parts. I got plenty I can do on the London bus if I had that cab. That spot just keeps sticking up. But I think I'm going to keep working on the Pearl. Until somebody says, that shit's boring, man. And I give it 3, 2, 1. Oh, car hauler. Multi-vehicle. Okay, you're talking the, I'm looking. You're talking the one from Revell, aren't you? Because the one that I picked up this weekend was an MPC. The one that's yellow on the back box. Yep. I actually believe I have that one. The one that's silver. And it was, for what I like to spend on a model, it was a little pricey. Thanks, Jalen. I appreciate it. I'm not, I am here kind of linking them together. I'm not making them exact. I'm just eyeballing it. Yeah, the silver one. Yes, I picked that one up. And the reason I have two of those. I actually have now two. I've got the yellow one that I picked up off of Scale Model Graveyard this weekend. I think it's an AMT, but the reason I've got two of them is I've got most of the Coca-Cola cars, and someday I'm going to build them all and put them all on the display. And I wanted to have the car carrier will actually become a Coca-Cola car carrier too, because all the Coca-Cola cars come with extra decals. Very cool. I was lucky enough that off of Evil Bay, I got the silver one, the Revell, for I think it was $79 or $80 shipped, including taxes. The other one, I'm waiting for the shipping info. But the other one that I picked up is I got it for a steal. I got it for $20 plus shipping. It's part of the reason that I watch Scale Model Graveyard, because I've picked up a lot of really good kits for really cheap. And it's actually funny because I've given Kalen Sandberg, I think, he's White Gloves Modeling, and he hasn't been around for a while because he just had back surgery. But I've picked up several kits from him. Oh yeah. I know how that is, shipping to Canada. I mean, not only is the cost, but the shipping. Because I'll tell you right now, cost of models has gone up really high everywhere. But the fact that it doesn't matter what it is, I've talked to folks that I bought in Canada, and it doesn't matter what it is. You start at for your shipping at $20. And of course, USPS is about to increase their charges again. So I always tell anybody who's shipping in the States to use UPS, because if you use UPS through PayPal, I forget what the service is now, but they're much cheaper. I want to say we sent a bunch of canvases to my son over in Pittsburgh. He paints, and so we had canvases that he had left here, and we sent him the blank canvases, and it was like $16. Or when I sent a model to a certain guy I know up in North Dakota, I think the highest I've spent for shipping anything that direction was like $26. So what you need to do, Blue, is have people ship stuff to Eric. And then just drive across the border and get it. And you can see what I was talking about earlier about how the purple dries and dries clear, because I had some purple up on the top down here on these edges. Some of my strips are a little bit narrower, so it's not going to line up perfect. Like there you can really see it's right in the middle. But by the same token, it is all inside the captain's cabin, which there's, you're not going to be able to see very well in there. What I do need to do, though, is find some 1/50th scale furniture or probably build a couple of tables, a couple of little chairs to put in there. Who knows? There might actually be tables and chairs in this kit, because this kit had a lot of everything. Donnie pointed out the other day, the last time everybody saw this kit was I was working on the 2 hammocks. That is really smart way to do that. This one's peeling up a little bit, so let me shoot a little bit of glue under here. So that should hold. I just thought of something. I mentioned it earlier. I have not shown what I was talking about. That is really cool. Being able to get stuff shipped stateside. The only problem is that the mailboxes probably only use USPS, and USPS is becoming crap. So let me find, where is it? I should have a glue tray. There we go. So I'm just doing a little experiment here, so that anybody who hasn't seen this, how badly it can do the wood, you'll see what I'm talking about. And I don't know where my pin vise. So let me take the pin vise. The super glue on the wood. And so it looks okay on this side. But see how it soaks in on that side, and that color, that discoloration, even after it dries, will never go away. The shininess might, but it won't go away. And if you use the super glue and you push it down, it'll squeeze out and come up to the top. I'll set that off to the side. Before I get off tonight, I'll show it again. The white glue does not do that. So if you're going to do wooden models, lay in a supply of Elmer's. You don't have to get the wood glue or the tacky glue or anything. Just I use straight regular Elmer's. And doing it this way with the edges, pieces hanging off the edge there is dangerous because these do, with it just being the glue stick, they will come up really easy. But I do my best not to do that. That's why when I was cutting off the other end, when I was cutting the pieces on the bow, I was cutting down and not pulling the blade up while trying to cut. I was only putting the forward pressure on it while I was pushing down. That way I'm not trying to, or not getting the wood to get pulled away from the deck. For next time, I'm going to have to find the grills for there, because I've got parts for this several places in the shop because it is so big. And I also, before I got this one from ZHL, which is woodscalemodel.com, I think was their website. It might still be. But before I got this one, I went on eBay and I found one. I found a black pearl and I was like, yay! And it had pictures from their website of their model, from ZHL. And I bought one. I knew it was too good to be true, and it absolutely was. I paid $25 for it. And I contacted them and I said, this is not what I paid for. Unlike the Halcon, which Eric did, this did not have all the parts that it was supposed to have. It didn't have any of the planking. It had barely any of the cannons and the rest of the stuff for inside it. And I was like, no. So instead of paying to ship this thing back, they just refunded me. And so I actually have some spare parts. That's why I have, if I would have needed it, I have the second one of these. I mean, you can see that literally the Chinese stole from the Chinese, because ZHL, actually, I think ZHL is a Russian company. ZHL, the one that made this kit, and they make a lot of kits and good quality, nice kits. The pieces match exactly their kits. Okay, let me get a little bit more. I'm getting close to being done with that spot. But next week I will build another set of stairs. And that's gonna, I want to say it's going to suck out loud, but it's not. It's going to just be time consuming, because the last one didn't suck out loud. It was just a little bit difficult. Interesting. There's writing on the back. So obviously they have some sort of writing on these, when they are splitting them. Don't think. Let me find some narrower ones, because that's what I'm using right now. Oh, here is the other half of that one, that split one that I had earlier. Let's see. Yeah. So I just looked. That is completely dry. And if you look at it, it stained the wood for good. And the super glue is the go-to for a lot of things. Definitely not wooden kits. I use it on a lot of kits. I'll use it as a shortcut to where I don't have to scratch paint. Now scrape the paint off so that the plastic will bond, especially when it's inside where you're not going to see it, or where it's not going to be as visible and there's not going to be any stress on it. Okay, that might be, it's going to be close. And I have to, well, you can also see that there. You can see it a little bit from that angle. Let me see something. Let me see if it's going to actually show in the camera at all. Extra camera. It's because of which camera I'm using. It won't let me use another camera. So let me switch to the 922 Pro. And you can see, it's not focusing. You can see around this, I super glued that, and you can see the difference soaked into the wood. So let me see some, just for giggles. Nope. Sometimes it will let me use multiple. Actually, I think it only lets me use multiple cameras when it's on the Logitech 615. Let me see what's going on over on Discord. Donnie's working on his Seaview. People have given him compliments on it. He has done a really good job on it so far. Donnie's been a building machine here lately, too. Lies, all lies. I already did look. Actually, I didn't look in general tab. Are you guys talking about me? Well, yeah, boy, a fella could go broke with a hobby like this. Absolutely. Eric used to be a millionaire. They got into models. Well, and StreamYards only lets you use two cameras if they agree with each other. I might have to start setting up the OBS virtual camera the way you guys do. But it works pretty well for me, just switching it on the fly. Because I've actually used every single one of my cameras tonight and not had a problem with it, with switching. See, this is where I'm going to have to start getting inventive and trimming a little bit. I'm even going to get one more plank in there. Maybe. We'll do this side first. You know, the planking, I think every wooden kit has a part where you plank. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I had all the cannons in earlier when I was showing below decks. That will actually, I'll actually show that again, because when I look below decks, I'll pull a couple of the cannons out so you can see that you can actually see some of the stuff that's down on the bottom deck. Stuff on the far side, you can't see very well at all. But on this side, the deck actually comes out so you can see underneath it. That's why when I first saw this kit, I fell in love with it and had to save for a while to be able to afford it. First time I saw this kit was back, I want to say I was building the Millennium Falcon at the time. So I'll tell you how long ago it was I first saw this kit. This Millennium Falcon I finished 7 or 8 years ago. Maybe I can get one more in here. Yeah, I can get one more in here on this side. Oops. Bumped it and knocked it right back out. So there's that one. Do I have, that's a thinner strip. That's going to barely fit, but it will fit. I can believe it. I mean, I literally saw it, and it was, I want to say 2 or 3 years after that I first saw it that I finally bought it. Fortunately, in the past couple of years, life has been good, so I actually have a little bit more spending money than I used to. Don't believe these guys. I don't have 2 of every kit ever made. So this, before I accidentally cover up this hole completely. Oh no! I thought that was glued in. It's actually not. Or is it just not on the top now? I could actually start my own hobby shop these days. So actually, this might have been a happy little accident. Let's do it that way. Only true of most kits ever made. So when it's finished, Blue, you're probably right, probably around 1,200 to 3,000 when it's finished. But it's actually, for a wooden kit, quite reasonable. For a wooden kit of its size. This was, and I went all out. I have what they call, so the ship itself and hull and the masts, all the masts and sails, that's the first and second pole. That is, last I looked, when I bought it, it was $4.99. Then they have the third pole for another $100, which is extra cargo, people, which brought it up to $5.99, and then shipping was $100. About 15 kits. So if you want to cry, Blue, and then you'll start telling me I have two of every kit ever made two. Look at my StreamYard, or not my StreamYard, my ScaleMates. I have over 500 kits unstarted. So let me see. Wood Model Boat Builder, is that it these days? I think that's actually somebody's website. No, that is it. Wood Model Boat Builder. And they have some new stuff. The Black Pearl, a sunk model with matching fish. That's actually kind of cool. They have the aft end of the model sunk. Yeah. And Donnie's right. Somewhere around 20 kits already started, including the Pearl. But let me see. Product. Is it POF? You have to kind of look for it. Maybe it's the 40-inch. Wow. 1/72 scale HMS Victory. $900. Let me do a search instead. I used to have to save up like that. And then I got promoted, and my wife is, she gives me a pretty decent allowance. Okay, so there's two versions of the Black Pearl right now that are out. There's the Seven Puppets, Pirates of the Caribbean. I might have to get this. Very cool. They have more of the figures you can put on there. I don't have room for 20 started kits at once, Donnie. They go back in the box and then go into storage. So currently the top level, which is what this one is, the top level is $459 plus $75 for the third pole, plus another 100, so it's still about $650. So let me bring share screen. So that's the website. And this is what I'm talking about. This is the kit that I'm doing right here. And I fell in love with it first time I saw it. I'm not going to make it as dark as this one is. And then this is the third pole. New plan just came out. Oh, wow. I think that's the Lancaster. I've looked at that and I was like, yeah, no. Like I said, this is the third pole. And you can see it gives you some figures and extra cargo. And there's more. It came with more than they show here. There was a lot of barrels, a lot of buckets. But what I just saw was this here. The guy right there, right in the center, looks like Will Turner. So I may have to get get those guys. And I have to learn to paint because that's how they come. So love this kit. I don't know. I do know why. I get frustrated with it. Yeah, the Lancaster, I would love to get that. But this is the most well, not counting part works, this is the most expensive kit that I have, and I'm not going for anything that expensive unless it is a part work. So make sure those are down. That's still drawing. I will get, hang on. Oh, let me put this back up. For next week, or actually Friday. Yes, that's the one. That kit is awesome. But for Friday, I'm going to start getting some of this out. I'm going to look through the instructions, if you want to call them instructions, because really, they show you some pictures. It's only a trial. Oh, they're doing a part work on the Lancaster? Ooh. Don't tempt me. But no, the next thing I'm going to do is start working on these grills to get, they'll go in here. And then I've got to build the stairs. And between now and Friday, I'll build the stairs on the Friday stream probably. 3, 4. And see, you can see I'm actually ahead of where I'm supposed to be. Well, what's funny is you see this is planked, this part that I was working on earlier tonight. It's not planked here. It's very hard to follow their instructions sometimes. And there is, other than the broken English, there's no actual instructions. That's okay. It depends on the plastic. Some people will. I won't. I hate paying over $100 for a model. I hate paying even $100. So, well, I did say it was gonna, because I don't think you were here earlier, Blue, when I had it on. So let me rotate this again. Bring this camera back down to short. Turn on the power supply before I hook it up, because if I inadvertently have it too high, boom, there go all my LEDs. So now let me switch. Bring this over. I do have to say, this is a lot of times this camera is really good. Echo, turn off workbench. Got the border models Lancaster 132. Yeah, it's good, but they rush production, so it's got problems with the kit, but mainly instructions let it down. That's the thing, is being able to figure out instructions is sometimes an art. So thank you very much. That was a lot of work. And you can see there's actually cargo all the way across. You can't see the guy in there because the light is not shining down. But like I said, the floor will come out and it shines a little bit better in there. I love it too. I honestly do. And these were a trick to put together, because if you look, there's a Canon. Echo, turn on bench. There's a Canon. There's some Canon shot, a barrel. Painted the stuff in the baskets and stuff. And down here, it's unfortunate you can't see it. Let me see if I can get light in there. Thanks, Todd. I'm fortunate that my wife loves Johnny Depp. That's how I ended up with this ship. But can I get it to where you can see it? There, my fish in there. I love the way I did those fish. Matter of fact, can I do it this way? No, I can't. But I love the way that those fish came out. So, turn the camera light back off. Hurry up and finish it already. Looks so cool. That's the thing, is I think I'm going to keep working on it. I keep getting discouraged, but I'm about to do, once I get the decks done, this deck, and I start working on the captain's cabin and all that, then it's going to be a lot of fun. I very much enjoyed doing the Pearl before. Thanks, Gilly. Matter of fact, I don't know if Jalen mentioned her Pearl since you've been on. And I'm sorry if I'm giving you guys an inappropriate view. But that right there is a more interesting kit than the Iron Man or the Route Master. Absolutely it is. It's really slow building, Todd. But here, Mark, there's a Black Pearl you should be able to save up and afford. They're about $80. Unfortunately, this one moved. It was packed for a move. It did not survive well. It's a really good kit. I honestly, when Jalen got it, I almost bought another one. So I loved it. I loved building this. And I didn't do a whole lot of coloring to it. I just colored it a little. It's actually almost the original gray plastic. I added, wait, it's a bad place to put it. I just put it in front of the monitor. I added some, what was it? It was brown over the gray paint because I liked the way it looked. It looked dusty and dingy. Now it looks really dusty because it's up above the bench. Let me catch up. Thank you, Jalen. Yes, Donnie, that is the Zvezda Pearl. And I also have to go with it the Zvezda, what is it, Flying Dutchman. Yeah, true, the one that Todd did. But I'm not looking. I will be honest. I'm almost terrified of doing the rigging on this one, but I'm looking forward to it too. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've learned a lot. And do I have any here? I thought I saw. I thought I had some here. I know I have some here. I just don't know where it's at. So a suggestion, there it is. A suggestion for you, Jalen, and anybody who starts doing. Holy crap. 150 now. Oh, yeah, because of the Ukraine war. So many ropes. Well, anybody who does any kind of rigging whatsoever, I highly suggest you get this stuff. It's about, I want to say it's $8 for a tube like this on Amazon. I used it on the Black Pearl. It's not super glue. It's close to super glue, but it's flexible. After doing the Black Pearl, I was like, I do like doing wooden ships, and so I knew I was going to be doing some more rigging. So very cool, Donnie. Very cool. I think I told you to get it too, but I laid in 5 tubes of it because it just makes it. Once you've got the rope wrapped, it makes it stay in place really, really well. So. That's it for tonight, guys. I'll be working on the Pearl Friday. We will have a stream on Sunday, so I'll be working on it Sunday and probably next Monday. Hopefully, we'll start getting more of it done. I will tell you the side will remain open because it's designed for that. The planking will only cover a certain part of it, and then the other side will get fully planked. Watching jewelry makers glue. Yeah, it's about the same stuff. Ooh. I forget what it is. There's multiples, but that was, it was this stuff they sell on Model Expo, and that's where I got the first tube. And when I first used it, I was like, that stuff is really cool. One of the greatest things about it, hopefully I can show it without, is that little pretty, come on, focus. Well, you can see it, the little applicator. It is actually a needle size. So appreciate you guys coming by. I'm going to call it a stream. And I will be working on the Pearl a bit more. And what I will probably start doing is once I start getting Route Master to where I can work on it again, I'll go back and forth between the Route Master and the Pearl And then when I get the thanks, Todd. And when I get the more enough Iron Man parts, I will do a Iron Man stream as well. Have a great evening. Have a great tomorrow. Like and subscribe if you like this type of content. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers. We have links in the, or I have links in the description, both for the Facebook and the YouTube. We'd love to see you over there. We would love to have you join us on the Facebook. In the Enterprise, maybe, Donnie. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing the Enterprise anymore. And with that, I'm out, guys. Have a great evening and catch you next time.